Welcome back, everybody. Literally have no idea what to do today. It's been raining, it's wet, it's gonna rain again. Got a lot of hay to do. Confused. That's what's happening on Ranching Sodak. I don't know. We got a chance to rain tomorrow, but I think might have to start cutting. We're gonna put new knives in here. I got those knives ordered off of partsforus.com. They're a German-made knife. Looks a little better than maybe the case ones. They're a hair cheaper and a little bit harder. But let's go do a little crop tour. We'll check the rye and turnips, see how they're coming up. We've had almost 5 inches of rain. It was fair week, blah, blah, blah. We've been gone for 4 days off and on here. Not getting a lot done, folks. Starting to pile up. So, Sassy Pants is gonna ride along with us, but let's go. Yeah, check this out. This will tell you how much rain we've been getting. If your grass starts to grow right in there on your heads, check that out. Puppy's been parked for a short week. Not good. Crazy stuff. Parkour. This is really mean. Oh, will we take this one? No, I'm kind of thinking maybe this one. Maybe kind of parkour. The dogs really missed us. We probably better go drive around just a hair and let the dog have a little fun. They've been hanging out here without us for a few days. Feel the rye and turnips. We can see the rows. Well, here, see, it's all been killed, and we really pushed the envelope with the weekend and the weather. I planted this on a Friday, and they came and sprayed it on a Tuesday to terminate it. It's a risky move because they're going to spray Roundup and a broadleaf killer. Stuff was starting to come up, and of course, if it starts to come up and Roundup's going to kill it. So we were like within hours, I mean 6 hours later, 10 hours later, we would have killed a lot of our plants that we were trying to grow. But as you can see, these guys didn't get harmed. They were just coming out of the ground. And then I believe these bigger ones are your radishes, and then the littler guys are going to be your turnips. And then the grassy stuff looking is that your rye. The goal is we're going to graze this. Hopefully this keeps growing. We get a nice pleasant fall and we're able to graze this. And then I'm going to let the rye go through the winter, let it grow in the spring, and then try to green chop all the rye. I'm going to plant rye on all of my acres this fall, so next year we'll have rye on everything. That way we can get some green cut stuff early, end of May, then go back in with forages, whether it's sorghum or corn, short day corn for silage. Yeah, I'm excited about this. It's going to keep it clean. So this one was a little bit better probably, this other field, because he had sprayed it the day after I planted it, which I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if how much we did kill of that other one, but it looks real similar. Then you got your volunteer barley is going to be coming. Since we drove out here with the drill, anywhere we would have drove with the drill, turned up a little dirt, or the packing wheels would have, pushed a little barley seed from when we hayed it just under the surface. So we're going to get a lot of barley. This is going to be barley, that's going to be barley, all these little ones here are barley, and then of course your rye is already up 4.5 inches tall and going. But did a really nice job. Look how brown it is. He's got everything terminated. The weeds got killed and all the volunteer pigeon grass and everything. I'm excited. Should be a real nice cover crop for grazing. Hopefully we get a bunch of ryeage next spring. I did a Sassy Pants move and made a big pile of rocks over there when I was picking up bales. Forgot about it and ran it over with the drill. So we'll go get that one too. She likes to look for rocks when she gets out here. She's got her claw hammer and just goes right to work, boys. Saddle up. And no, we're not going to buy a rock crusher and make our own gravel. I apologize. I didn't mean to be so grouchy about that. It doesn't make sense for us to buy a crusher and crush the rocks that we have. One thing, I don't want to go pick them all up to crush them. And then we put them around our garage currently. So it's going to take us a few years to landscape our garage by picking up a few hundred rocks every year. Thanks for the comment though. We can rescue this Merlot while we're out here too. There was 2 geese. Are those geese or the yeah? So this is actually going to be a third crop off of this 20 acres. Gosh, I wish you guys could walk on this. This 20 acres is up there is where we're going to put all the another 250 bales and bale graze it on that hill. But this one here has had about around 1100 full-size round bales fed on it over the last 3 years. The ground is just it's almost like a spongy carpet now. I've got it so built up with organic matter. I'd like to hay it another year or two, and then we'd come in here and terminate it in no-till corn. I'd like to see how many bushel of corn I could grow with no fertilizer. I feel like if I got the right conditions, I could easily grow 150 bushel corn with no added fertilizer for at least 2 years, but we will find out when that time comes. Yeah, it just keeps coming and coming. Of course, this year's been a lot of rain too. So we'll cut this here in probably 2 weeks, right around the first week of September, the first part of September. Anyways, let's get this out of here. Kind of figuring out what we're doing today by not even knowing what we're doing today. There we go. Oh boy, she died. Not sure why it starts and stops like that. I think I do know why. Remember in the winter time when I said don't get in the cab? It's trying to hydraulically lift this suspended cab instantly when it's cranking over. See how it's raising this cab up? And I learned that in the wintertime to stand on the step and don't get in the cab. Yeah, and I tried messing around with lowering the cab down at the end and then shutting the suspension off so it would just stay down. It's kind of a poor design on their part as far as, because as soon as it started, it's wanting to send fluid and make that thing start pumping, raising that big cylinder up underneath the cab. All right, we're out of here. Come along now. Well, I think we parked this bad boy here. Let's go get the rake. I learned a little trick from my dad this weekend when we were visiting down there about how to fix these rake teeth, so we're gonna try that. As I drive around, see the mud on the tires. My hopes of haying or cutting hay today are slowly dwindling away, so I think I better just switch gears and become a maintenance man. As much as I don't want to do that, I'd like to be seeing something gets done, but
that is stuff.
That is stuff, she says. Try not to be so positive. We're trying to sulk in our pity right now. As we pick them out of the fields, we just bring them home and throw them along. And we need to go all the way around the back of our garage, so we got time. A few years ahead. Big Jim, he got stuck right at the last second there before the last rain in the ditch. But, all right, let's take her home. We'll open her up and I'll show you the trick, the secret trick on how we're gonna fix some teeth. All right, we gotta move a couple pickups and so basically what he was doing, they bought a couple new wheels and then they come with all their rake teeth in them. We were replacing teeth. It is really a pain in the butt to take these apart and to replace them, and then kind of like once one starts breaking, they kind of all start breaking. What the thought was is it took the old rake teeth that were still intact, good, and cut them with a grinder right here. Cut them out, we'll pull them out, and then you go ahead and you leave this one in here and you cut him right here and here to get these out, slide it in, and then lay them beside each other, and then just put a little bead of weld right there. So then this all stays in there. We were able to slip it in. The other thing is they always want to break right here. Not always. See, this one broke up here. But we can raise it up or down to get away from this wear spot. So anyway, that's the idea. I'm gonna go ahead and cut these out, a handful of these, and then we'll weld a few on and see how it goes, see what we learn. What do you think of that? Sound crazy or not? Just make sure you got a pair of safety glasses on site. Just kidding, everybody. All right, we got a handful here. Let's give her a shot. So like this one here is broke off, so we have to cut him right there. Now we got our new tooth right there. Get him straight. We'll just zap a little weld there. Here was a temporary fix that we did about maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and I kind of like the idea when these springs break here because of all the wear is always at the same spot. But when you do this with a piece of chain link, 2 chain links, then your wear spot is here on both of these links is always moving. I just twisted it around in there. That actually has worked. Here I didn't have no chain link. We should take them off, and I just strung it through there. We should probably put 2 pieces of chain in there and string it in. That was a really cobbled fix here, just a roller chain link. But that was probably done 3 or 4 or 5 years ago as well. This one I see the spring is broken. Kind of a bugger by yourself. You gotta hold the wheel up and bend bend this little hook around kind of at the same time. Get it to go in there. Okay, let's do this wheel next. Only two. Guess I could grind the paint off of one of the teeth. What's up with you?
They're never open.
Quite a herd there. JC, are you gonna go for it? I'm gonna keep after these. I think I'm gonna do it on what's back here, the back 4 wheels for sure. Thinking about buying either 6 or 8 new wheels for the front, 3 or 4 on each side. I'll bring you back after I get done. Or actually, would you like to just hang out by the barn here and do an epic time lapse? So I got that side done, the front or the back 4 wheels. Deciding now that I'm gonna buy 8 new wheels for the first 4 on each side. But while we're up here at the shop, we'll do the old Price is Right test. And that is, you just spin for the $1 on each one, not trying to go over, and then you see how your bearings are doing. Oh, that's not good. So as we spin them, this one obviously is hitting, but what do you see here? He quit. So these bearings are going bad. I can spin this guy and he stops faster than all the rest. This is the one that kind of locked up on us when we were doing the barley, and I thought I was gonna have to replace it in the field, and then it came out of it. But since we're here, let's do this one. It would still work, but it definitely needs to be looked at. So we gotta take these lock collars off, kind of quarter turn, and they cam onto the shaft, get them off, drive it out, and get these bearings both out of there. And the shaft is round, and this thing has a cammed indent in this ring. So as you turn it, it pushes itself off to the side a little bit and gets tight and actually locks itself onto the shaft. I might have to get the blue wrench, warm it up. I finished cutting that first bearing off with the torch. I ended up cutting both sides of it. And once we got that to fall, then this one fell out the back. So we let this stuff cool just a sec, but this whole wheel is gonna pull out now. We'll be able to clean up the shaft, drive this bearing off, get that lock collar off, get this stuff taken out of here, and then start putting the bearings back in. Plenty hot yet. Loosened this up and it's off of the bearing, I think, but I can't, there's no way to pry on this very well, and I just know I can torch it. When I torch off something on a shaft, instead of wanting your first instinct is to lay your torch here and try to cut the top off. What I do, if you can get on the side, is torch the side, and then you can just slowly peel a little bit away until you actually see the shaft and you don't hit it. So got that all torched off and never even touched the shaft. Now we'll let that cool, and we got to buff it up a little bit. You got to get the rust off for sure, and then on the end where it's kind of been mushroomed from us hitting on it, I'll take the grinder and I'm gonna have to grind all that edge down, because the bearing's got to slip on from this end, obviously. So now we got the bearing, and I got this all where we had kind of hit this and mushroomed it up. I had to grind that down, but you put your lock collar on first, just like we tore it apart. This is the part that goes on the lock collar, of course, where it hooks onto it, and when you turn it, offsets the shaft and locks it on there. So put that on there. Oh. should go, huh? There. So that's going on there. We'll put this back in the rake, adjust the in and the out. These bearings only go in so far, so they pound into a seated groove in that rake. See, that bearing goes right in the inside of there, and there's a little, you can see there's a little seated rim right there. So you drive that bearing in until it's flush. Once we feel like that's in there, this thing, this lock collar, hooks onto here, and then as we turn it, it's going to lock onto the shaft, which will hold. That one will be locked, this will be locked, it'll hold it from going anywhere. Well, that doesn't look right. It looks like it jumped off of its little track. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. Maybe I'll try going the other way. So now if you play the Wheel of Fortune game with this one, he'll keep up with that one. Nice. There are guys that'll drill a hole here and put a grease zerk and then fill that whole cavity that where those bearings ride in there. It's really, it doesn't do anything, but it surely doesn't hurt anything because they're sealed bearings, so when they're working properly, they can't get no grease in them anyway. So we got that back on, and then I did call around and I found us 4 right wheels in town, so we're gonna get those. Sassy Pants is going to town to get them, so this rake's gonna stay here, but I need to close it up and get the skid steer out because I got a little surprise in the back of the pickup. We'll talk about that here in a sec. So let's go get the skidder, or as the comments said, bobcat. It is a bobcat, but it is a skid steer. A little look-see at this. This is an auger head, and I didn't buy any augers, so you're asking yourself, what do you got going there, Matty Ice? Here we are, folks, pulling in Rigs for Less down in Minnesota. They'll ship stuff anywhere in the country. We're gonna be picking up a post hole auger, the head for the skid steer.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Did he tell you you're going to be famous?
No, he said something about YouTube.
Yeah, is this it sitting right out front here?
Yeah, the auger.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Take a look at her. You might have to look at some other stuff around here. So he said chain drive. What does that mean for sure? Do you know or not? It looks pretty beefy. The orbit motor. I wonder if it must have a chain. It must be like a double sprocket or something, maybe.
That could be.
With a double set of chains to hook it together. I'm not sure, unless it is geared down. But
I haven't had to take one apart, so I have no idea.
yeah. This is their new site in Albert. It's Albert Lee, Minnesota. But they'll ship nationwide. But they got a little bit of everything. Big shredders. That's like a tree shredder. Yeah, really nice place. Lots of stuff. Any auger you can think of. Blades, buckets, brushes, pounders. These are jackhammers. I don't know if he's got a post pounder or not. I'll have to ask him. Nothing like having a bunch of people watch you work. He seems like a trained professional though to me. So we're gonna make a wire winder for the end of that bad boy. You're gonna see that puppy in action. Let's kick these rocks off so we don't take those home. Straight ahead it looks like. Little bit that way. There you go. I'll come ahead just to, well, I guess we got to get it to go ahead about an inch. That'll work. Perfect. Well, this thing's going to hook up to the skid steer, and then this is the the auger head. And this isn't a super heavy duty one. It's not like the top quality, high grade or commercial grade head. But what I got going is we're gonna actually make like a Christmas tree old wire winder that's gonna mount on here, and we're gonna use it to wind up old barbed wire, long stretches of fence. So we're gonna take some pipe. Let's start another project. We got time. So what this will be is it'll slide over this a little over 2 inches. I wonder if this pipe here will fit. Oh boy, I bet you that puppy is gonna fit in there. We'll probably cut a sleeve of this off, mount it on here, drill the hole, put that in there. It won't be hexed. It won't, I don't know if it'll need to be for this application. Enough with that. What it's going to be is almost like a reverse Christmas tree. It'll be like an upside down Christmas tree that, let's say it's going to be 3 feet tall. Top part will be bigger, and then the bottom will go down to a point. Hook your wire on there, and then when you start your wire, you'll hold it upside down like an auger. And when you start your wire, it'll pull the wire, winding it up on this, making just a big ginormous ball of used wire. And then when you're done, you can tip her back and carry that ball of wire on there. And then when you get where you want to go, whether it's in the back of your pickup or the trailer or the junk pile, be able to tip it down and shake it, and then that thing should slide off because it gets smaller as it goes down. We're going to take some of the stuff I have here, pipe and junk and whatnot. We're going to build that somehow. Not today. Probably. No, not today. We're going to start thinking about it today. We're going to work with Rigs for Less. That's where I picked that up, down in Albert Lea. They got 2 locations in southern Minnesota. Any kind of skid steer attachment you can think of. Check those guys out. Check their website out. rigsforless.com, I believe. Link will be right there, a picture of their sign. And yeah, I look forward to work with those guys. We're going to get some more attachments. I bought that thing, and there's no freebies here. I bought that, but we're going to start working together. Yeah, I want to get a brush mower and a snow blower and different attachments that we're going to try out, and I'll buy them, work with them anyway, and go from there. Okay, remember on that other video I tried to make that little arm that went up here and tried to protect? So now, what the new ones have is they actually have a pipe that's welded onto it's part of the hub, and it turns around here. I'm thinking, since I torch everything anyway when I gotta fix these bearings, this is really pretty thin-walled half moon, or it was a pipe. It was an old basketball hoop is what it was, but I cut a chunk of it. I think I'm gonna just push this thing up against here, and then I'm gonna just put 2 little tack welds on here to hold that. And what that's gonna do is this is gonna just totally eliminate a place for any hay to get started wrapping on there. But if I have to replace the bearings in here like we just did, I'll just have to take the grinder and grind a little of the welds off, take the shield off. Let's weld the back 4. I'm going to put these little shields on. She's sealed up tight right against there. Say if you got to do these bearings, take the grinder, bump them welds off, and then you can get back at her. Well, we got all 4 of these welded on. I like that. That's gonna be good. It's just gonna be when we have to replace the bearings, we'll have to just grind them off, which isn't a big deal. I really feel like that's gonna stop all the wrapping. I got moved over here on this side. We're gonna do the rake teeth on the back 4 wheels now. I got myself another batch cut. We'll start popping them in here and welding them on. This one actually didn't have any missing. It was replaced not too long ago. But then we did about 10 total teeth. Got them all on there. Let's go cut our basketball hoop pipe arches and we'll weld them on the back 4. And then we'll be done. We could take those 4 front wheels off because we're gonna get those 4 the right-handers. I might have screwed up. I just realized it in my last two. Is these things are going to be down. The angle of those arms are going to be down. Our little covers, I've been putting them on when they're up right here. But as they go down, I probably should have touched them all like to there, like I did here. Cocked them all a little bit, but it's still going to protect it from starting to wrap. I kind of dropped the ball there, boys. All right, let's get some impact and we'll take those first four off. I should probably open this rake up a little bit. Probably should have a little bucket there, Matt. Alrighty, man. We got these four off. Well, not we. I did it all. You watched me. I took the wind guards off. And then, no, I think I'm going to take the wind guards off of those first four. I got them stacked up there for parts. If this welding trick works, we should have enough teeth for eternity now. Never have to buy another tooth again if that's how that works. See, this one's a newer one, so probably don't need to replace him. He's just got two teeth we should weld them on. All right, I'm gonna zip these zip ties off with the grinder. We got the wind guards off. Let's do these last two teeth on this wheel because this one is a newer wheel and their teeth are, I believe, a hair heavier than the original Rake. Let's weld these two on and then we'll be good to go. Somebody commented that they were not happy because I was roasting Tyler and Cole, which I know both of those guys personally. I was talking to Tyler the other day, and on his video he was talking about his weld. I don't know if he was a welder or, but he's a really good welder. And he was telling his viewers about on his corral, he was using an upside down Z pattern as he was welding. And what I do is what they call a roosting chicken with mild diarrhea is what I do. And I start at the bottom sometimes, and sometimes I start at the top. But either way, the results are the same. Y'all keep welding. Well, let's take a break from the rake for a second here. When those wheels get back, we'll put those on. We're gonna have to go down to Webster and get the left-handers, I imagine. The neighbors got a creep feeder coming, truck to fill a creep feeder, dropped a few bales off up at that hill where they get into that pasture. Got to go move a couple bales so that truck can get in there. It's a good excuse to get away from the welder for a minute. Old Jinxie cat didn't get to do nothing this morning but drive home. I didn't really want to stack them up the other day because they were wet, but they're dry now. We can go line them up or stack them or move them, whatever we're gonna do. Up lining up about 60 bales here at home. Well, probably more than that, probably like 80 bales that'll be dumped, and it was all congested there. So, but Sassy Pants is home, and I got the rake wheels in here, I think. Oh yeah, there they are. Boing! Look at all the crickets from the barley bales. Get a bolt ready.
I'm ready, Captain Super. You weren't even doing jack and you're dying.
Get one through. You can turn. Your thing just there.
Stop squealing.
Got the wind guards on. This side's all done, but we got to flip all the knives around and chip the mud out because I got a meeting at noon. But if it doesn't rain tomorrow afternoon or not much, I need to getting this thing and cut for like 2 days straight. Just cut. The knives that are on there are actually still original case knives. These are the ones I ordered from this Parts for Farm. Ooh, they even sent me a little catalog that got all wet. These are a German-made knife. This is what Mike runs now. And the box is completely shot, so that's awesome. I don't know. They look thinner. I think they are thinner. And these are a 7-degree pitch instead of 14 degree. And Mike seems to get along with these. And like I said, they're $1.50 cheaper per blade. If they last longer, they work better, and you save 30 bucks. You're saving almost 40 bucks. I'm not good at math. Hey, you quit giggling in there, girl. So anyways, it's a win-win-win. They cut better, last better, and are a little cheaper. But anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go. We finally got Sassy Pants out here working, which is what we were hoping for all day. Get her doing some stuff. I think she was on the couch. I'm not sure where she was at today, but anyways, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.